The controversy surrounding GMO has existed for a while. The seed company Monsanto makes the argument that genetically modified seeds not only help agriculture, but also farmers. Behind me, you will find the country's largest urban oil field, and they are known to use a new controversial drilling process. They argue that the bill will not only provide access, but better options for safer abortions. It may be the only billion-dollar industry that no one likes to talk about. These people say they will keep protesting until big companies stop producing GMO, better known as genetically modified food. They walked through the Koreatown area of Los Angeles in what they call a march against Monsanto.
We are here today to take back our lives.
With the exception of fresh fruit and veggies, GMOs are present in more than 60% of foods on USA supermarkets. Simone Frame says it's people's basic human right to know what they are eating.
And what we're putting into our kids' bodies and our families' bodies.
Some scientists make the argument that genetically modified food items such as rice could actually help end world hunger.
It's a tool in the toolbox. If we let this process flourish, there is a chance that we can address the hunger in the developing countries.
The spokesman for Monsanto said via email that the company is making a contribution to improving agriculture by helping farmers produce more from their farms. David King was one of the main speakers during the rally.
Monsanto has got the money. We don't have the money, but we've got you.
Over the years, they've consolidated the seed market down to very few varieties. The very few varieties, then, leave you susceptible to crop failure.
Monsanto, unstoppable, another world is possible.
They've declared war on biodiversity, and certainly we didn't start the fight, but look forward to finishing it.
Reporting from Koreatown, I'm Mona Adem, Valley News.
We are very confused because we identify like gas, plus guava, plus cherry.
Monique Uriarte knew something was wrong when she and her family began getting sick 3 years ago. She did not know exactly what was happening, but she did know it was something in the air. Uriarte is now sure that the smell is coming from here. Located across from her home in South Los Angeles, Elenco Energy is an oil company. Equipment used to extract oil is hidden, but you can see it from the roof of a nearby school. She believes this process is releasing dangerous chemicals that are causing health problems for herself and her daughter.
The air makes you get sick. Like, I've never had heart problems, and I'm experiencing them.
Nancy Alpern is the executive director for Esperanza Community Housing that serves residents in South Los Angeles.
Particularly in our case, low-income communities of color, we want to make sure that our communities are not abused.
Alpern says the number of complaints went up dramatically after Elenco increased its oil production. There was an increase of report from the neighborhood sending in complaints. Did you guys recognize that? During a phone interview, the spokesperson for South Coast Air Quality Management District, Sam Atwood, said samples indicate that residents have not been exposed to danger. Elenco, who refused to leave any comments for the story, is not the only oil industry in Los Angeles that have caused controversy. Behind me, you will find the country's largest urban oil field, and they are known to use a new controversial drilling process. It's hydraulic fracturing, or fracking, and people living near this Inglewood oil field say it's polluting the air and causing homes to crack. But California Director for Energy in Depth, David Quest, says it's simply silly to believe that fracking is harmful.
You're talking about taking fluid, which is 99.5% water, and a little bit of sand, and about 0.5%, a few chemicals, all of which you can find under your kitchen sink.
Quest says oil drilling can create an economic renaissance in Los Angeles.
And we're governed by, and that oil field in particular is governed by the strictest regulations in the entire United States.
But regulation and transparency is exactly what geologist Dr. Tom Williams says is missing. Take this building, for example, on Pico and Genesee. Having the same color as the Elenco facility, it has no windows or direct address. And while people drive by it every day, the oil site is hidden to the public eye. 14 miles away, the Elenco site is still operating, but these people say they won't give up until the pumping stops.
It's like shut down because they're making it not only me sick, but like other people.
For Valvey News, I'm Mona Adem in South Los Angeles.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. History is marching on.
These people say they are remembering the unborn children lost to abortion. They call it a Holocaust or murder.
Abortion is murder. Abortion is wrong, it's sin.
Abortion right opposer Nusa Moore says this is a fight for the voiceless.
I believe that every life needs to be protected. Every life needs to be defended and protected. Every baby needs to be loved.
But opponents say this was not only a day to pray or share grief for the unborn. It was also a way to raise political awareness.
Memorial service for these children.
California Pro-Life Council member Brian Johnson urged people to help stop the new abortion bill recently passed by both California Assembly and Senate.
Well, the abortion industry has said that they want abortions between a woman and her doctor. But what's happened is that they're actually making abortion commonplace, and it's not a medical procedure in their mind anymore.
The bill, AB 154, will allow non-physicians such as licensed midwives and nurses to perform abortion. Planned Parenthood, who sponsored the bill, does not believe it will create any kind of safety risk for women. Instead, they argue that the bill will not only provide access, but better options for safer abortions. Planned Parenthood's Celinda Vasquez says a study contradicts the safety risk argument.
Nurse practitioners was actually exactly as safe as performed by a physician, and that the patient satisfaction was very high.
Lord, we commend these souls to you.
While most people here oppose abortion for religious reason, one also has a personal reason.
Maybe 20 or so more years ago, probably more, when I was younger, I had 2 abortions. And all my life I have lived with this feeling of not knowing who my children were and stuff like that. So I've become pro-life because I need to do something. If I don't do it, nobody else will.
In East Los Angeles, I'm Mona Adem for Valley News. The man suspected of opening fire at LAX airport is now facing charges of murdering a federal officer and committing violence at an international airport. There may soon be a solution to a controversy over people growing crops and other plants along LA city sidewalks. New guidelines are being written to make sure the so-called curb gardens are safe and well maintained. People planting along LA curbs say they have faced problems with the city. Hello and welcome to On Point. I'm Mona Adem. Today we're going to talk about the DJ culture. Joining me is my first guest, Chris Perez, a CSUN student and professional DJ. Next to him, we have Josh Lynn, a CSUN student also and a DJ. And next to him, we have Dr. Bernardo Attias, a CSUN professor of communication and an editor of the new book that is specifically about the DJ culture. How would you define a DJ?
Well, that's a great question because that's what a big part of a couple of different chapters in the book are going to be about.
Let me ask you this one. When it comes to gender dynamics within the DJ culture, how would you respond to that?
The 2 co-editors with me on the book are both women, and they're both DJs, and they both have stories that are just incredible of where, you know, they're at a gig, their name's on the thing, they're the DJ. And somebody comes up and sees them digging around looking for a record and says, excuse me, can you get the DJ for me? I have a question, you know, or I want to hear a song. And it's like, what you know, what do you think I am? You know, and they assume they're the DJ's girlfriend. You know, so the assumption is kind of built into the culture. So now that said, there are some, you know, amazing women DJs, and they're serving as role models to bring more women into the culture. So I think slowly that is changing over time. But I also think this weird sort of exploitation of you know, the visual aspect is making a big problem. And in some places, I mean, I don't think that's happening here as much, but in some places they're even DJing topless, you know. So it's all about the sexual exploitation and not about what they're playing or the sounds at all, and that's, you know, troubling.
I want to thank you all for coming today.
Thank you.
We would all like to thank you for tuning in to On Point. If you would like to see more of this, you can follow us on Facebook by searching CSUN On Point, and follow us on Twitter at CSUN On Point, all one word. This show also appears on our website at cssuntvnews.com, or catch us here every Sunday at 4 o'clock. For Aniola Yos and all of us here at On Point, I'm Mona Adem.